following this ongoing situation in Ukraine, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. An emergency executive meeting was held this morning, and UEFA have indeed taken the decision to move the Champions League final away from St Petersburg this May. So the Russians will not be hosting the Champions League final. My talkSPORT colleague, talkSPORT's football correspondent Alex Crook joins us live. Alex, good morning. What more can you tell us on this? Did they reach this decision fairly quickly and unanimously?
Yeah, good morning, Jim. They've reached this decision within about half an hour of the meeting chaired by the UEFA President Alexander Ceferin getting underway. So clearly not too many dissenting voices. The final of the Champions League, this season's Champions League, was due to be held in St Petersburg at the end of May. That has now been moved to Paris and to the Stade de France. UEFA, in a statement released to talkSPORT this morning, thanked the French President Emmanuel Macron for his personal support and commitment ahead of the meeting, which took place on video link. The football associations of Poland, the Czech Republic and Sweden also came together to release a joint statement saying they would refuse to travel to Russia for the upcoming World Cup playoffs. UEFA have responded to that by ordering the Russian national team to play home games at neutral venues for the foreseeable future. The same applies to the Ukrainian national team as well as club sides from the two countries. The Ukrainian FA understandably called for Russia to be expelled completely from FIFA and UEFA competitions. That hasn't happened so far. Russia due to play Poland in their World Cup playoff semi-final next month. I'm not sure what message it will send out if they qualify and are allowed to play in Qatar, but that's a decision maybe for another day. As of a few minutes ago, this meeting was still ongoing, despite the fact that UEFA have already released a statement. One thing we're still to hear about is UEFA and their relationship, their very lucrative relationship with the Russian-backed energy firm Gazprom, and if they will terminate that. They only signed an extension to that sponsorship deal around about a year ago. Manchester United, we understand, considering their £40 million relationship with the Russian airline Aeroflot, and I think a lot of people think UEFA should do the same when it comes to this relationship and link up they have with Gazprom.
You wonder what will be next. I mean, Simon, we know this morning the Europa League draw. There are seeded teams, and in that group are Spartak Moscow. West Ham are in that group as well, so West Ham can't draw Spartak Moscow. But in the unseeded group, Rangers are in there. I wonder what would happen. I mean, whoever draws Spartak Moscow, Simon, I wonder what will happen there.
Well, I think we're into the territory. Very rarely do I look for sport to fall in line with the political landscape, but this is a lockstep moment where the situation is what it is. And I think that if we're going to sanction banks and we're going to sanction big businesses and we're going to sanction individuals, then you can't allow sport to sit on the outside of this. And there is a case to be made to take the Russian teams out of the tournaments altogether. And not just about the tournament being played in St Petersburg and removing that, but taking the teams out of the Europa League and taking the teams out of the Champions League. You've got Spartak Moscow in the Champions League. There is an argument to be said
in the Europa League.
Well, who's in the Champions League from the Russian Zenit? Well, is there a Russian team in the Champions League? Doesn't off the top of my head.
No, Zenit are out. The Europa League this morning, Spartak Moscow are in the seeded group.
Whichever Russian teams are participating, perhaps there is a case to be answered for them not being allowed to continue to participate. If you're going to close down relationship with banks, if you're talking about closing down the SWIFT system, which is the ability to transfer money between banks and change the whole dynamics of the financial markets underpinning the Russians' ability to be able to monetize their economy, then start taking their sports teams out of competitions. There's no right that, if this is the landscape we're on, why isn't this a question?
So, Jim, the Spartak Moscow team won't be able to play their game at home, will they? So the national teams aren't, so they're obviously Spartak Moscow.
Let's
won't
ask Alex that, because Alex, you've gauged the mood of UEFA this morning, certainly regarding the venue for the final of the Champions League. Where are we at with their thinking, do we know, regards Spartak Moscow in the Europa League?
Well, Spartak Moscow are the only Russian side left in any UEFA competition. Real Betis probably did UEFA a favour last night with that victory against Zenit St Petersburg in the Europa League. They've said that both club and national sides will have to play home games at neutral venues for the foreseeable future. So that suggests that Spartak Moscow will be allowed to continue in the Europa League. And I think that's a controversial decision. And I think I have to agree with Simon on this one. I think this was a real opportunity
what about the World Cup,
for
Alex?
UEFA to make a statement.
Are the Russians qualify for the World Cup?
No, at the moment they're in the playoffs. They play Poland in a semi-final next month. If they win that game, they will play either Czech Republic or Sweden in the final. That's why those three football associations came together to release the statement. And I agree. I think at this stage they should have just said, no, Russia, with what's going on, you're out of the World Cup, because if
should
Russia
be part of the
qualify, and
sanction,
there's every
shouldn't
chance they could come through, surely they can't be allowed to play in Qatar at the end of the year.
Alex, thank you very much indeed for that. So the breaking news this morning, and it was widely expected because it wouldn't sit comfortably with many people around the world. St Petersburg has been stripped as the venue for the Champions League final in May. It will now be Paris. It will be the Stade de France in Paris. And it remains to be seen what happens with Spartak Moscow this morning.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.